guys, Reversal here, and welcome back to another episode of Pokemon Go. So what they have been doing is they made a couple of changes inside of the game that I want to share with you guys and talk about, specifically egg hatches. Egg hatches have been changing, there were reports coming in, nobody was sure if this was real or not, but it's been confirmed by a bunch of people. So from this point forward, if you pick up an egg, whether it be a 2k, a 5k, or 10k, it may contain a different Pokemon than you're used to. So let's go ahead and jump straight in, starting off with the 2Ks. So they added Spinarak for whatever reason. I have no idea why. I don't know. It's inexcusable. I think it's one of the worst Pokemon to add in there because it's a little bit less worse than a Murkrow in my personal opinion, but that's just my opinion. One cool thing that they actually did do is that they gave Pichu a Ash Ketchum Hat upon hatching. So if you're going to be hatching yourself a Pichu, it will have the Ash Ketchum Hat for the duration of the event that's currently going on. I kind of want to take some time to go back to the event as well, the anniversary event. We already know that the gym rework and the raids was part of the anniversary of Pokemon Go. But on the day itself, where it mattered most, in my personal opinion, I was pretty much let down by the fact that, sure, it is cool that we're getting a Pikachu with a different hat. It doesn't add anything. It's mostly for the fans that really like that kind of stuff, myself included. But I do understand a lot of you guys aren't that happy with it. But then the anniversary box came, and that is honestly a box that's inexcusable, in my personal opinion. You're getting so little extra value for a box that is kind of being forced in your face. Be like, hey, we got this box for you, and here we're making you feel a little bit better that there's going to be a box down there. Now, a lot of people expressed their dissatisfaction with this, even on the Sylph Road, which is usually a place where people are understanding and happy about stuff that's being added to the game or being changed inside of the game. Even them said like, hey, this is what is this box? And I fully agree. What Niantic should have done, in my personal opinion, and maybe even if it's for a day, right? Even if it's for a day, make raid passes like 50% discounted. Like, you guys can do it at Niantic. Like, honestly, you guys can do that. You can afford to do so. And you're going to be making a bunch of people, like, so much more happy than putting that box in there. Sure, it is cool that you can now hatch Pichu with a Ash Ketchum Hat. But it doesn't mean that the box with the incubators and the max revives and the ultra balls and whatever's in there is any less better. Anyway, enough rambling about that. I got some really awesome news for you guys. So from 10Ks, there were 3 Pokemon that nobody liked to get in there except for the people that still needed these Pokemon for their Pokedex. Pineco, Gligar, Mantine. Removed from 10K, moved to 5K. So that actually increases the amount of Pokemon that are available in 5K, which is already a crazy amount. We'll dive into that a little bit later because there's more Pokemon being added down there. There's a Pokemon from 5K which has been moved up to 10K, and that is Porygon. Out of anything from 5K, I don't mind moving up to 10K because it is such a hard Pokemon to get. It is Porygon, because now your chance to actually getting yourself a Porygon is a little bit higher, and the chance of getting anything that you don't need out of 10Ks is lower, because I have a bunch of upgrades that I personally don't use. So if I were to be seeing a Gligar, a Pineco, or a Mantine inside of a 10K, I'm just like, why, you know? But if I'm seeing a Porygon here, and now I'm like, hey, you know, I can actually use this Pokemon. So we're exchanging 3 useless Pokemon for 2 Pokemon that aren't that great. The second one that got added into 10Ks, for whatever reason, is a Chinchou. Now, I don't know, it's like a Pineco, a Gligar, or a Mantine. It's not great, you're not gonna be happy with that Pokemon. But 2 is better than 3, so I'm excited about this change. Let me know in the comment section down below, how happy are you that Pineco, Gligar, and Mantine got removed from the 10Ks and got added into 5Ks. Then, the 3 starters of Gen 2 are finally available in 5Ks. Chikorita, Totodile, and Cyndaquil. You can now obtain them inside of 5Ks. That is awesome, that is great. Then alongside with that, some interesting changes. Teddiursa got added, Hoppip, Wooper, Swinub, Snubull, Marill, and Natu. So some of these Pokemon that got added inside of 5Ks were removed initially, and now they got added back inside of the game. I honestly feel that the pool of Pokemon that are obtainable in 5Ks is just way too big right now. Currently in this time and date, it might be possible that some of the Pokemon from 5Ks or 2Ks are in fact removed from their egg hatches, but we cannot confirm this right now because the only thing that we see are the Pokemon that are obtainable. So whenever it becomes apparent that certain Pokemon are in fact removed from 5K, I'll make sure to keep you guys up to date with whatever these Pokemon are. But I think it's interesting that Wooper and Natu are now available again inside of 5Ks. I think out of the list, and also Hoppip and Marill, I don't think these are particularly Pokemon that belong in 5K. And there's also a whole bunch of other Pokemon that I don't think really, you know, belong inside of 5K. Basically anything that is relatively easily obtainable in the wild, like a Natu for me personally, I don't know how the situation is for you guys, shouldn't be inside of a 5K. So as I was going through the footage of this video, I kind of forgot to mention something which I thought was pretty interesting to mention. It is the fact that right now in certain parts Swinub isn't really available inside of the game, but the counterpart of Swinub is basically Houndour. I honestly am kind of surprised to see that Swinub got added inside of eggs and then Houndour has not been, because in a lot of people, in my country at least, it is really hard to obtain ourselves in Houndour, and it's often one of the final Pokemon out of Gen 2 to obtain, with the exception of Unknown or Ampharos or something like that. But yeah, that basically concludes everything that got added inside of the game as far as egg hatches has been. I'm gonna be sure to inform you guys whenever I notice that any Pokemon are not obtainable inside of 5Ks or 2Ks or even 10Ks. But yeah, with that being said, I want to say thank you guys so much for watching. Feel free to share in the comment section down below. What do you think of some of these changes? What do you think about the Pineco changing, or the Gligar, the Mantine, or the Porygon being added inside of 10Ks, or even the starter Pokemon being added inside of the game, or Spinarak? Anyway, that's gonna be doing it for me for now. I want to say thank you guys so much for watching. This is Reverse for Pokemon Go. I'm gonna be signing off, and I'll see you guys in the next one.